Hello, salutations. What it do is Stop the Gamer off out there. Do-Rag gang, know the vibes, like a subscribe. Let's get it. Welcome, Do-Rag Nation. It is time for the first Marvel's Avengers stream of the week. What's up, chat? What's up, King Vought, Nathaniel Lease, James Davis in the building. Please no Red Hawk, racist. What's up, Angel? Tier Teen, Zachary Original. What's up, Mr. Clean Kids? What's up, Sean, Capte, Monty the Guy, what it do? What's up, Raider Rich, 89, Shadow, Nate, Mike Fury, Syria Boy, Shadow Drift, H-Town. What's up, Jav? Shout out to all my defenders representing, all my mods, modding it. What's up, Jason? What's up, Justin Flores? What it do, Abby? What it do, Kobe Banks? Am I referring to villains in game? Villains, Marvel villains that were once Avengers, specifically, to go along with the theme. Or just villains in general. Think anti-heroes, not specifically villains, like Loki, Yelena, Red Hawk. What's up, Jace, Mando, Ryan? What up, Mega Sith? What up, Blixie? Off the Senju, what it do? What's up, Retro? Am I running OLTs today? I might, maybe I'll squeeze one in at the end if you need one. I was just going to finish the Cosmic Threat, the Cosmic Threat event today, while I just chat. Give you another mission like beating the odds. But we're not talking about missions, we're talking about playable villains. Racist. Next month you're getting Defender tag back, don't you worry. I'm not worried at all. Appreciate you, Capte. What's up, GJXD? What's up, Sheldon? What it do, Cecilia? What I think of the Daredevil Born Again Disney Plus announcement. I'm glad that he is all his faith that Daredevil will be brought into the MCU was restored. Charlie Cox definitely deserves all of the money, all the monies, all of the roles that he wants. I have no faith that the show will be good, but I'm glad that they are promoting him heavily in the MCU. You just mad my James higher yours? Yeah, because you're a cheater. I could make my Jane higher too if I was cheating and hacking with my 165 year. Does anyone know when the next Quad XP is happening? They don't usually announce those things ahead of time. That's just something that you have to find out whenever they drop the blog. How tight is too tight when it comes to do-rags? You have one that made you pass out. That's definitely too tight. If you're just wearing the do-rag mainly for the purposes of fashion, or you're planning on wearing it for a long time, you want it tight enough so that it stays on your head, but not too tight that it's uncomfortable. Sub YouTube Toby. What do you order hearts? Poll showing a lot of people want playable villains. Yeah, we got 84% so far want some playable villains in Avengers. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Make sure you smash that like button. Shout out to, of course, today's partner, AIM Controllers. Check them out. If you want a fully customized controller, whether you're a hardcore gamer or just want to have some cool stuff on your controller, they have lifetime warranties. Link in the description. Use code Sadot. One playable villain you would 100% love is Doctor Doom. You know, Punisher was a Thunderbolt, but was he an Avenger? Sure. Afternoon, hope all is well. Thanks to a fellow YouTuber, the Drifting Crusade found another way to farm XP on triple or quad events. Heart of Monster. He explains it best. Oh, Heart of Monster. Yeah, that's another old one. I guess that one's less known. I haven't seen that many people make videos about it, but yeah, pretty much all the sweaty farmers pretty much know that Up from the Depths, Heart of Monster, and Villain Sectors are great places to farm XP. Any news from our boy Miller? Not yet. I'm checking my DMs just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Well, Avengers didn't tweet anything, so I'm not missing anything. Nope. Miller didn't even have the, I know Miller tweeted about the Black Panther game, but that was in response to the Jeff Grubb report. So Miller didn't have that scoop either. So yeah, for now, Cake Foster, no news on from Miller, at least not yet. I do have a video dropping after this stream, speculating about some Avenger stuff that I think should be coming this week or next. Definitely check it out. But yeah, as far as villains, just wanted to see how everyone thinks. I know the first time I considered playable villains was when we were doing the pot. It was we had the pod. It was one of Doom's podcasts where he had Alex on, and Alex was answering Doom's question about about some heroes that he wanted. You know, I think Doom wanted Sentry, and he mentioned Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange, and Alex basically said that he would be more interested in something like having a playable Loki come to Avengers, and he went on about how he kind of looks at heroes coming to Avengers in terms of how specific their power sets are, because that translates better when you're designing their hero kits. So ever since Alex brought up playable Loki, I was like, that's interesting, and interesting that a dev would go there. What's up, Poppy? Jav is your favorite mod. You want playable Jay Shockblast? You want Jay Shockblast to playable villain? I would definitely buy that DLC. Yeah, Jav is here, actually. Well, he was just here. Dark Avengers counts previous. You love Ares? Sure. I don't know about Dark Avengers. I was specifically thinking more lines of villains that became like actual mainline Avengers at some point. Like, for example, Sabretooth had a run where he was converted into a good guy and he became an Avenger. The Flash Thompson version of Venom. Since the Crystal Dynamics said that they wanted to keep characters limited to ones that were Avengers. So I thought that this would be interesting. I know young Loki was an Avenger at one point. Yeah, I was good. Aqua's going to get jealous. Let's not spread information here. We all know Nightbot is the best mod. That is technically true. Sentry would be cool. How you doing, Flossie? Venom is a hero now. Yeah, Agent Venom basically as I mentioned. So I included him in the thumbnail, because I was specifically thinking of, all right, they were at some point they were Avengers, so I'm like, okay, well, they could definitely count. They were villains, but they're Avengers, so I think that'd be a nice way to switch things up, broaden the pool a bit. Elqua, that's Cap Tag. Agent Venom is cringy, Maz. We want silly, goofy Carnage from Venom 2. Oh no! Don't remind me of Venom 2. That movie is terrible. Who is the new Black Panther? Shuri is. If you're talking about the MCU, right now Shuri is the new Black Panther, according to reports. You wouldn't mind a difficult raid that lets you unlock Thanos upon completion. The mission. That'd be interesting. I don't know if he was that's more like straight villain rather than that used to be a good guy. Stump had no idea Sabretooth was a good guy. Yeah, he was. There was this whole arc where villains and X-Men had their brains rewired, and Sabretooth was a good guy, and some of the X-Men were like bad guys. And afterwards, Sabretooth maintained his good guy status. Show us your build for Lady Thor. Exclamation mark Jane in the chat. Build video is up on the channel. Green Goblin big class. I was thinking of it would be cool if they did something like, since there's 2 Lokis in this game already, you have the one from Jane's timeline and the one from this main timeline. What if they made our Loki a playable hero, and he helps you in a raid against Jane's Loki? Magneto would be dope. I just in general just love Magneto. I would absolutely love to play Magneto. I don't care what excuse they need, but yeah. Magneto is a hero from a certain point of view. Yeah. I mean he's literally a hero, I think, in some other issues, but I mean, yeah, technically he's a terrorist in other points of view. I mean, you could argue that his actions up to a point were justified, but also not. Up to a point being the keyword. Namor, Silver Surfer. We need another archer. Can never have too many archers. Garga, Scorpion, Venom is really underrated. Has such a great arc in the Thunderbolts. Yeah, Silver Surfer was, even though Silver Surfer worked for Galactus, he's not really a villain. He did some dirt for Galactus, but he, famously betrayed him. Wanda, just like her father. Wanda and Quicksilver technically were villains at one point. Think moving forward, you're gonna stop partying and focus on yourself and protecting your existence. Sometimes you don't feel safe around these streets. Oh, he's finally figured it out. Yes, enjoy yourself. You can have fun, but you're married. At some point, you exercise some responsibility. Juggernaut would be a great villain. Electro being that electricity reigns supreme in this game. Morbius, of course. Running over AIM with the Juggernaut would be fun. Absolutely. John Walker, U.S. agent. John Walker. There. I would want to avoid like a John Walker, because it's like, well, he's basically Captain America. Yelena. Yeah, for similar reasons. I would like. I'm not into Yelena. That's why when I saw Yelena as a potential leaked hero, when we were still debating on the Echo characters, I was like, please don't let it be Yelena. Love to have Quicksilver. Yeah, we need more speedsters in gaming in general, I think. Homelander. Well, I don't think Homelander was ever a hero. Definitely not an Avenger. What's up, Rishi? Homelander is just a villain pretending to be a hero. Did I end up finishing Second Son? Yep. The second stream we did, we ended up finishing the entire story. So I was just playing. I've just been playing around with free roam, just cleaning up the city, and at some point I think I'm gonna go back, try again as a villain, and then I'll try First Light. Zemo will be interesting. I don't think he was ever. Well, anyone can do. Stan Edgar as a playable villain. So it's definitely not Killmonger. Going by the reporting, it is definitely Shuri, which I pretty much knew from the beginning, but that apparently was confirmed. You pray it's not Shuri? Well, prepare yourself. One Hyperion. See if they released the Cold DLC for the States. I did not. Killmonger would be dope. I'm good, Rishi. How you doing? Red Hawk. We need a Marvel game that lets you create your own janitor that works for S.H.I.E.L.D. or Asgard. That's an interesting thought, Uncle Casual. Definitely shout out to Uncle Casual Avenger, always bringing the hottest of hot takes everywhere he goes. That'd be interesting. You can create your own janitor that works for S.H.I.E.L.D. who wants to be stepped on by Jane Foster. Wanted to see Love and Thunder with this girl because she told you multiple times she wanted to see how Jane got the hammer. Well, she told me she doesn't go out much. To the street she goes. Yeah, she capping, bro. Crimson Dynamo. Okay. Quad XP is going on until the 28th. Sure doesn't make sense. The Beach Child's there, but obviously he doesn't have one. So there should be a tournament type of thing for it. Well, we haven't seen a movie yet, but we know that we've heard from reports that it is in fact Shuri. And if Black Panther has a child, which I think might happen as well, someone's definitely pregnant in that trailer. They would be too young, obviously, to be Black Panther. And with the whole Atlantis invading Wakanda thing, they might not, have much of a choice. It could just be, oh, someone's got to be Black Panther. Would Red Hawk just be a clone of Hawk? Red Hawk has some different moves and stuff in the comics, so he wouldn't have to be a clone. When the Widow's gonna drop in, none of this stuff Miller leaked has a release date. Love to play as Abomination. God, I actually wouldn't mind playing as Taskmaster just for the meme. Your homegirl said you were built for the streets. Was it supposed to be a compliment? Hopefully it's not Shuri. Pretty sure it's Shuri. There's a trailer for Wakanda Forever. Yeah, a bunch of Marvel trailers dropped over the weekend for San Diego Comic-Con. We actually watched the I think we went over the trailer yesterday. We went over all the San Diego Comic-Con stuff yesterday. but we actually watched the She-Hulk trailer and the Wakanda Forever trailer yesterday on stream. Is Spider-Man 4 going to come? Supposed to. The baby was Namor. It was oh yeah, for the underwater thing. Yeah, that one was an Atlantean. But I'm thinking they could do Black Panther having I definitely don't want them to do Shuri permanently, but they can probably go that route. They'll probably be like, well, this is what they did in the comics, so Shuri's permanently the new Black Panther. But I would much rather them recast T'Challa. Or have someone else. Do you think they will make a captain skin for Thor so Cap can have the hammer? No. And also they wouldn't need to do that to give him the hammer. They could just upgrade Captain America's skill tree to give him the hammer. Taskmaster is forbidden. Taskmaster is forever. Namor look dodgy as hell. I definitely don't like how Namor looks. I'm not buying it. I don't like any of it. I don't like the look of the actor. I don't like the look of the whole Aztec thing. Kia already knows how to fight. True. From what you heard, the plot leaks, Wakanda Forever is similar to Batman v Superman. He's not the main villain. Yeah, pretty sure I know already where that's going to head at the end of it. Should have just brought back Killmonger, gave him a redemption arc. Yeah, resurrect Killmonger, do some multiversal stuff. Let them. Gonna watch the stream today. The video I have after this, is just a video. It's not a live stream. But we're going to be talking about Winter Soldier and some other stuff. Will they make a new Captain America skin in Marvel's Avengers? Probably. Is Multiverse worth it? I mean, it's free, so yes, I guess. It's free. You just have to buy some of the characters. So, cost you nothing to try it. Plot twist, new Black Panther is Riri Williams. She's going to be Black Panther and Ironheart at the same time. When will we get Sentry in the MCU? I'm not sure if we are getting Sentry in the MCU. Anytime soon, at least. I'm just looking at the way that the MCU is shaping up over the next several years, where they're going. So we know they're bringing in mutants. They're looking to assemble the Young Avengers. They're doing Thunderbolts. Looks like they could be potentially doing Midnight Suns as well. So I'm not seeing where Sentry would fit in there. But, you know, they gotta keep milking Marvel somehow, so eventually they could land on Sentry. Think we're getting that Thor skin. What Thor skin? Norman Osborn. I like Norman Osborn. They can, as long as it's played by Willem the Goat, I'm with it. What if Shuri takes on the role of BP? That she speaks to her BP ancestors, including Killmonger. She finds out his body in the Radiant Ocean was picked up by the Atlanteans, so they resurrect. That'd be interesting, but don't think that's how it's going to play out. MCU has been terrible since Endgame. If they introduce Doom, then kill him in Fantastic Four, you're gonna be pissed. Is it possible to get triple Valor on a Cosmic Affinity ISO? No. Plot twist, T'Challa has a secret son in hiding. Only skins that matter right now are Thordis. That is the correct answer. Too many new heroes, not enough strong villains. Worried that Black Panther Wakanda Forever is going to be ultra. I mean, isn't that a concern? Isn't that a concern with everything? I think Thordis is the most likely skin. They already did the in-game Iron Man that Miller leaked, and they added Thordis specifically to the patch that they dropped last week. So it would make sense for them to roll out Thordis. Suburb, chillin'. Hot take, more excited for the anime shows than live action stuff. True. I mean, some of the live action stuff, I think could be good, but I'm definitely intrigued by What If Season 2. I really like Season 1, despite there being a few bad episodes. Marvel's TVMA Marvel Zombies sounds interesting. Live action stuff, I was like, a lot of stuff could end up being bad. Quantumania looks like it could be okay. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is probably going to be good. I think Secret Invasion is going to be good, but I don't think Echo or Agatha's show are going to be good. Daredevil might not be good. Almost all MCU Avengers are female now. Got a problem with that, bigot? Thoughts on Namor Wakanda Forever? Like I said, I don't like him, and from what I've seen, I don't like how he looks at all. Maybe he'll give a great performance, but just aesthetically, I don't like anything that I'm seeing. %, sure Shuri is Black Panther. She stays as Black Panther until son of T'Challa grows up. What do you think of Secret Wars movie announcement? So it's basically Endgame and Infinity War all over again. As long as they're good, we'll see. But they're pretty far out. This is basically gonna be the whole massive team up movie where they have cameos from all across the Marvel multiverse. Hope a new Blade will be good. Yeah, I have no faith in that either. When is Jane getting more skins? Whenever they drop them. We know Thordis was added to the patch last week, but still nothing about MCU Jane, unfortunately. Think it's the Thor Surtur. Think they'll do the Surtur one this week. Taro Magnus got attacked for not crying for the BP2 trailer. I mean, that checks out. The Marvel fandom has been invaded by a lot of weirdos. So no surprise there. I did not cry during the Wakanda Forever trailer either. So guess I'm canceled too. Jane will be reincarnated as a child's child and will die as Black Panther. Namor looks terrible. It's crazy how people hated Man of Steel. Now are crying for Henry Cavill to come back. Well, like I said, you never miss a good thing until it's gone. I feel like there was some haters, but I think Man of Steel was generally well received. It's just that Batman v Superman and Justice League were, horrible. Any news on the two characters or leaks? On the two characters, no, but I do have a video dropping after the stream about the next Avengers updates. In the Agatha show, this is a good chance for them to bring back Elizabeth Hurley as Morgan Le Fay. Elizabeth Hurley. That takes me back. Was there anything about Armor Wars at Comic-Con? Yep, they confirm Armor Wars still exists. It's still coming out, but it might not come out to 2024. What do you think DC should do with Superman? I think DC should stop being stupid and make some good DC movies using their popular characters like Superman. Or, you know, let Henry Cavill walk away and go to Marvel and be Cyclops. Either way, it works for me. What's up, Sandman? CD has new DLC dropping. It's called The Ball. It goes around and bounces back and forth. Problem with Namor looks is that it's too much. That it's too much comic accuracy. I think that's the opposite problem. I don't think he looks like the comics very much. What's up, Craig? What's up, Mike Morales? We're just chilling. You're very worried about Wakanda Forever, but after the trailer drop, not as worried anymore. At least it's going to be a beautiful tribute to Chadwick. Yeah, at the very least, you'll come in, shed a few tears, remembering Chadwick, and you'll see some stuff blowing up. You go appreciate that sub while we do our game. Problem is them damn shorts. Henry Cavill is Captain Britain. I could wear it too. I think I'd much rather him be Cyclops. DC been smoking whatever Sony Marvel's on. Yeah, their showcase compared to Marvel's was not very good at San Diego Comic-Con. Marvel has all the stuff coming out, and DC is basically like, oh well, we have Gotham Knights dropping. We got Black Adam. We got Shazam 2. And we got Harley Quinn season 3. To be fair, Harley Quinn is a really good show, but Shazam 2, I don't know about that trailer. that movie looks kind of dog water. I'm not gonna cap. I was like, I don't know about this. Make him Sentry. Just piss off DC. That'd be funny. Batman 2 gonna have to save DC. As usual, they gotta do another Batman movie to keep DC going. Definitely playable villains especially. Be amazing. Yep. The new X-Men movies, you like Scott Summers to be with Emma Frost just to mix things up. I don't know, it's a good idea to have Cyclops be physically bigger than Wolverine. I mean, isn't Cyclops already? You talk about in terms of muscle tone? Because they're not. Mechanically, Wolverine is a very small guy. Cyclops is tall and muscular, and Wolverine is really short and really muscular. So that wouldn't be an issue. Think Black Adam would be good? I think it'll be fine. The Rock, when it comes to action movies involving The Rock, they're usually pretty solid. The villain for Shazam 2 looks dumb, and the CGI for Dragon looks trash. Yeah. Jason Statham was approached to play Captain Britain, but turned it down. That Jason Statham. Want them to do 3 movies with the classic original X-Men team, then 1 transition movie through the second. They Gotham Knight's going to put Avengers in the grave. I wouldn't bet on that one. Haven't we learned not to jinx games by saying that they're going to bury Avengers? Have we not learned this lesson by now? Peacemaker and Harley Quinn show, half the MCU shows. I'd argue all of the MCU shows. We talk about the Disney Plus shows. Harley Quinn is better than every single Marvel show, with the exception of like Netflix's Daredevil. like actual Disney Plus Marvel shows, like Harley Quinn is way better than all of them. It's not even close. Harley Quinn is amazing. Harley Quinn is an amazing show. Wolverine is 5'3". Is a tiny man. Very tiny, angry man. Do you think Ultron would be a villain in Avengers game? As a playable character? No, he's already been leaked as a villain. He's not going to be a playable character. Harley Quinn show smacks the MCU. Exactly. Hill villains in Marvel's Avengers can't even get the real Avengers at this point. What do you mean the real Avengers? We have all the real, what are you talking about, bro? We have all the real Avengers. Bro, we have Thor, we have Hawk, we have Black Widow, we have Hawkeye. What do you mean we don't have we have Captain America, we have Iron Man. What do you mean we don't have the real Avengers? What are you talking about? Yes, we do. Am I getting Hogwarts Legacy? Yes. You really want them to do Storm Justice? Indeed. Avengers Freeze to Die. Yep, it keeps going. Wonder if they're going to announce Captain America and Winter Soldier Season 2. Netflix, they're still the best Marvel show. Then you take hot take Season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That is a hot take. Harley Quinn is not for kids, though. I think Harley Quinn can be enjoyed by many different ages. But yes, technically it's a mature show. But nicely acknowledging that the Marvel shows are definitely aimed at a broader audience. Expected much more from Moon Knight series. It was a shame. Think he means OG Avengers? The OG Avengers that we have? What do you mean? I'm confused. Hate these MC fanboys who just came because of No Way Home. Kate, Kamala, Jane, She-Hulk are not even real Avengers. Scarlet Witch, Vision, Ant-Man. I mean, Ant-Man is technically in the game. So basically by real Avengers, you mean the Avengers that you personally like. Okay. So that we're clarifying. The Avengers that you personally like aren't in the game yet. Because we literally have the Avengers in the game. Now, are my 2K days over for now? Is Strange an Avenger? Kind of. He's also a Midnight Sun, so. The OG 6 Avengers are in the game aren't real Avengers. So I don't know. It was a bad take the way you say it. The way he phrased it, what makes it a really bad take. It sounds like a really bad take. Okay, so how much of this do I have to do? If he aims a melee attacks, cosmic damage. All right, let's get to work. Loki's more of an Avenger than Jane and She-Hulk. I definitely don't think that's true. Genius, get that hate out your heart. I think Genius Button literally just doesn't like women. I think that's what it is. He's specifically saying he doesn't like. I think he's one of those MCU people. He's like, yeah, too many ladies being added to this game that I don't like. He's what was a legend. Why is Agent Venom in the thumbnail? He is a villain. Because Venom is historically a villain, but there is obviously a version of Venom that is not. And was also an Avenger. So it works. Luke Cage or Miles Morales or Midnight Suns, take your money. You want Shang-Chi, the real Avenger? Who asked for Jane and She-Hulk? The people who like Jane and She-Hulk. Definitely more She-Hulk fans than Jane fans, I would say. She-Hulk is a lot older, more established as a character, and has a lot of fans. Wanda Strange's character we need. Him, she sucks. So much bigotry. Well, according to Miller, She-Hulk is not next, so it'll be interesting to see if Crystal Dynamics indeed switch things up. She-Hulk is an OG. Was Kai on? He's on that MCU pack. He hates women. He doesn't like all this diversity. That would happen, but you want to see Blue Marvel in the game too. Yep, I've been hearing more people request Blue Marvel. You hear Wanda is Strange again, you lose it. Did you know that people want Wanda and Strange to be in Marvel's Avengers? Can you believe it? Just want more villains in general. Oh, well, that goes without saying. This is specifically about playable villains. We already know that we want more villains to fight against. People need to know the difference between women in movies and women being forced in movies. Correct. Play mostly Kamala and Kate. You just want the real Avengers in the game. And you got your wish. They're literally in the game. They're all in the game. We're missing playable Ant-Man. We just have NPC Ant-Man, but we might get Ant-Man next year. Who knows? So we don't have Vision, but we know he's in the he was data mined. We don't have Ant-Man, but we know he's been data mined and he's an NPC. And we have the other OGs. Need to rework movement. You play as Kamala Kate, you're worried about the real Avenger. Yeah, he doesn't think they're real Avengers, but he loves playing them for some reason. Why doesn't he play with those other real Avengers like Thor and Black Widow and Hulk? Scott Lang is hiding the game. I believe Scott Lang is in this universe. Is Captain Marvel come to Marvel's Avengers? Yes. GS and Jav is Sims for Wanda. This is true. We want Miles. You know damn well Blue Marvel's gonna be a female in the MCU. How did I snitch on myself? What were we talking about? What are you talking about, JJ? Wanda vid. Yes, Lee, you're a simple Wanda. At least he's proud. He's proud of it. That wasn't a gotcha. He's damn proud of it. I'm like, I told you Ant-Man 2023. You do realize I literally have a video where I'm speculating about potential 2023 heroes, and I specifically mention the possibility of Ant-Man, but say that there's a good chance they'll do Wasp instead. I didn't confirm anything. I said they could do Ant-Man next year. Like I said, literally in my video. That came out like 2 weeks ago. Trying to get that Black Widow. Trying to get that Black Widow skin. That video is irrelevant here. You need to be correct. That's actually kind of the perfect summary of Twitter arguments. Anyone can the Avenger talk about real Avenger. I'm sure when that Black Widow beach skin comes out, there's definitely going to be a pretty big uptick in marketplace sales, especially after we got a preview of what it's going to be like in game. Roll back in a few weeks. So that revealed the roadmap months ago. Remember? Yep. I'm the roadmap king. You want Squirrel Girl, the real Avengers? I want a real Avenger like Jubilee. Did I ever get a good melee build with Spider-Man work? I never built one. You're Widow main now. Jay will be a real Avenger with Thor drop. I bet Genius Button running around with that skin. Your Black Widow build is about to reach 10 million views when that skin comes out. I should actually do an updated Black Widow build specifically for when that skin comes out. Onslaught raid? I would not say no to that. Falcon or real Avenger? You have a fully assembled roster. You can do all kinds of events now. Are your heroes or 151? Congrats. When they drop the V skins, Chris Anderson will be smelling dollars like Vince McMahon. I rep Vince McMahon, who went into early retirement for reasons that I'm sure are unrelated to the news recently. You want a real Avenger like Batman? I want a real Avenger like Saitama. When's Saitama coming? I want OG Avengers. I want OG Avengers like Goku. My favorite Avenger is Luke Skywalker. He's the strongest Avenger there is, in my opinion. You want a real Avenger who'll treat you nice? Squirrel Girl. The realest Avenger there is. Avengers out at Hush Money. Need playable Cybermen. Cybermen expansion. They're the new enemy faction. To replace AIM. Self-destruct build. My real Avenger like Nick Fury. Yamcha. Sasuke Uchiha calls himself an Avenger. That's right. Sasuke was the real OG Avenger. Deku never won Avenger. Vince is just trying to repopulate the Earth cast. Vince is planning for the apocalypse early. Trying to get it in. About to level Spider-Man before a quad goes. Enjoy. I get bored like immediately. I leveled up. I maxed out all the skill trees for Jane that actually did something, and then I was like, I'm out. Miles Avengers play, just delete the next character to come to the game. It's me. I was the next playable hero. Aaron needs to start rumbling and take care of aim. We definitely high key need a Itachi villain sector. LeBron James, real Avenger. Oh man, imagine playing LeBron James in multiverses. Could not be me. Want a real Avenger like Andrew Tate. We need a real Avenger like Miles Bridges. That's for the NBA player. That's for the NBA heads in here. You want the Final Fantasy VII X Avengers crossover skins? Liam Neeson. Hey, Miles Bridges, you great. His haircut would be crazy. He'd be the hardest character to play as because he wouldn't hit any robots. He'd only hit the female robot. He'd only hit females. He would never hit the robots. What is it coming to Hurricane Clown? That is the risk you take. Playing D2 again made you realize how stupid Marvel's devs are. It's like 20 seconds to fill out an 8-man team. D2 confirmed. Dead game. If D2's so great, how come you can't play as Taskmaster? Lead a real Avenger, R. Kelly. Oh god. Is Coulson still in Tahiti? No. I'm trying. A lot happened in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It definitely got wacky. I think Coulson is Coulson died, came back via Tahiti, died again, came back as a robot, died again, or the multiverse imploded, timeline imploded. What's up, Jet? Quake, a real Avenger. That's actually correct. That's actually factually correct. Quake is the only real Avenger. We don't need anyone else except Chloe Bennett. Come play D2 with you so you can experience a real raid. I can't think of anything I would least like to do right now. Imagine playing D2 with Genius Button when I could be smashing things with the Hulk. What's up, New Yorker? You love clicking this game, not gonna lie. Right. Miles Bridges heroic ultimate woman buster. Hold up. His perfect dodge will be called child support. If you parry and go into overcharge, it triggers deflect alimony payments. Why is everyone acting like the new BP trailer was so emotional? It was emotional to other people. It had sad music. It had people dancing in slow motions and crying and stuff. It was designed to be emotional. Others balling out just to be in jail. Sadot, no cry. He was going crazy. Division 1 still outlives Avengers as far as players. The matchmaker proves it. D2 will outlive Marvel's Avengers. Nothing will outlive Marvel's Avengers. Marvel's Avengers will live forever. D2 doesn't have bad time gating because you can recalibrate your gear and optimize it. But does D2 have the Thor skin? I don't think so. Are we getting swimsuit Black Widow in Division? Nope. Okay then. I rest my case. Tom and Jerry OG Avengers. We know CD is sweating to get Shuri Black Panther in game as Echo. I'd say they'd be more so sweating to get Ironheart in the game as an Echo. That's going to be the notable character that's added to the MCU. She has a show coming out. Woman Buster, Child Support Dodge, Woman Smash. This was an EA game that shut down, so you got to give credit to Square Enix for not instantly shutting the game down. Yeah, they said they sold it to someone else. Suck it, EA. Just finished The Boy, mind blown. Yes, sir. The Boys is that show. Get ready for Ironheart. You're late, what's going on? We're just memeing. A lot of memeing. We got more glitches than D2. Avengers better. Big facts. Mid-heart. Elmo's the first Avenger, let's be real. Keep that same energy when them Ironheart skins hit the marketplace. Y'all gonna be going crazy for that Ironheart hero event. Everyone getting those outfits, the summer ones. I don't know everyone's getting it, but I know a lot of people are getting the Thor and Black Widow ones immediately is the second they go on sale. You right, gang? What's up, Ace? I know I'm immediately getting that Black Widow one. That is an immediate purchase. He's getting me in trouble so hard. Today is your anniversary. Week after your birthday. That was on purpose so you wouldn't forget. Happy anniversary, Craig. Definitely don't want to forget those. You'll have to get the tortoise. Absolutely. These bots are crazy. Yeah, they try. But my Nightbot is stronger. My Nightbot's strongest there is. The enemies with melee attacks still ain't. A Shuri Black Panther skin for Black Panther. I mean, that's going away. That's going into the realm of character skins, which people suggested before, of just having a different character, because it wouldn't just be a skin, that would just be a different character model. Like people suggested, there were some people that were requesting the MCU US agent as a skin for Captain America, rather than just making him a new character. That buys a real Avenger. That is true. Off topic, but KD might go to Boston. He might, but I mean, if they offered him, if Boston legitimately offered Jaylen Brown and like 5 draft picks for KD, and KD's still not in Boston, he's not going to Boston or anywhere. I think the Nets have no intention of actually trading KD, because they don't have to. I think they're just. I think at this point they're just doing it out of spite. I mean, if Boston did offer them that and they said no, they're idiots, obviously. But I just think they have no intention of getting rid of KD. It's like, well, you're under contract for 4 years. You signed a max deal. You know, we build up our roster with the intention of making a run. So yeah, we're not moving you. I'm sure they would love to move Kyrie. But nobody wants Kyrie. I think the Orlando Magic is going to trade LeBron to the Dallas Cowboys. LeBron has a no trade clause. He had that added to his deal after Space Jam 2. And that's will be a sucker to trade. Reportedly, they offered Jaylen Brown and picks. Yeah, LeBron wants Kyrie, which is pretty hilarious, considering how things went last time. But that roster is a clown show. KD Sacramento. I think it'll be hilarious. I think it's going to be hilarious when Toronto ends up getting KD, just like they got Kawhi Leonard. They're going to trade for KD, and they're going to win the championship same year. Kyrie's wins went down after LeBron himself up. Yeah, because Kyrie learned the hard way that he ain't a leader. He can't lead a team to the chip. KD, Kyrie, and Ben should run it back. They have a nice squad. I mean, yeah, assuming that, you know, Ben Simmons is an actual basketball player. If he's going to actually play this year and, you know, shoot the ball. It'd be hilarious if after all this, KD ends up back in Golden State. Kyrie gets too much hate. Made a mistake, but everyone hates him. I mean, hate, I guess, but if you're talking about if you mean actual hate or criticism, like it's entirely justified. I mean, Kyrie has proven in multiple stops that he's immature, and on top of just being weird, a chemistry killer. He's always hurt, and when he's not hurt, as we saw in the playoffs this past year, he doesn't even do anything. Like, he was awful in the playoffs this year. I think it's fair to people, especially Nets fans, to be upset that Kyrie ended up missing half the season because he didn't get vaccinated. Rather just get him on a rental. That's the thing. KD wouldn't be a rental because he's on a 4-year deal. That's what's crazy. Kawhi was a rental because he was on a 1-year deal, and they were hoping that if they won a championship with him, he would want to re-sign. KD is not on a rental. KD is on a 4-year max contract. If he's traded, he can't go anywhere. What's up, gamer? Favorite player is Kawhi. You're a Clipper fan? I like Kawhi. Not a fan of the Clippers, but Kawhi is cool. What's up, Lord of the Road? Kyrie's supposed to be a professional athlete. Supposed to be. Man, I'm still mad that he's a. It still amazes me when Ghostness, appreciate that sub. Welcome to Durag Game. Still amazes me that a grown man with access to the internet and millions of dollars in his bank account thinks the Earth is flat. like, how does that happen? DKD on the Heat. I don't think I'm not looking at the Heat though as a serious destination because they just don't have the assets. Because again, KD doesn't have any leverage, really, to force not that much leverage to force himself to a new team because, you know, he's on a 4-year deal. Do I believe in conspiracy theories? Define conspiracy theories. Some people are just the dumbest, bro. This is true. He just gets paid to do nothing. That's literally what Ben Simmons did. Or tried to do. Then he lost a bunch of money. But Ben Simmons, he goes to the season, he does nothing. He goes into the offseason. He records some mixtapes of him shooting jump shots. Gets a big contract. And then, as soon as the season starts, he doesn't even shoot. He's like, "Oh no, I'm just kidding. I'm the same player." Conspiracy theories, like the Illuminati stuff. So here's the thing about conspiracy theories. A conspiracy theory is a slur, has been turned into a slur that's usually used to discredit people that are exposing corruption. Like, if you actually break it down what it is, if it's true, then it's just a conspiracy. But even if it is, it'll be called a conspiracy theory. So there's some stuff that's obviously, you know, just nonsense, like the Earth being flat. You know, that's that's a conspiracy, and they're theorizing how it could be, how it can be. But something like the Gulf of Tonkin incident, it was called a conspiracy theory to discredit people who were calling it out, but it was actually true, and which was declassified later on. So yeah, conspiracies are real. They happen all the time. It's just some people make stuff up, or some people see an event and they draw the wrong conclusions of it, or they assign a conspiracy where there is none. But they happen all the time, for sure. Katie not going back to Warriors. Warriors not super enough to give up Wiggins, Wiseman, Kuminga. True. This is why I liked James is liked talking at the barbershop. Yeah, I actually some of my fondest memories were in the barbershop. Hear my barber rant about stuff about Malcolm X and the government. It's pretty entertaining. Do you agree with Kyrie's political views on... What are Kyrie's political views? I don't know what they are. Kyrie is a weird guy. Did I record those Duncan videos that like he's in shape to get another contract? Probably true. I mean, I hope he stays in shape, but yeah. I don't know. According to Kyrie, the internet is fake. So, I did hear an interesting theory that people have been batting around. There's this idea that the internet actually, it's not that it's fake, it's that the internet kind of died, like it's mostly bots. There's a theory that most of the internet is actually just bots. I think it's like dead internet theory. I think that definitely applies to Twitter. I think Twitter is like 70% bot. Only thing I agree about Kyrie is black people knowing their history. I think everybody should know their history for sure, but Kyrie doesn't. My problem is Kyrie doesn't seem to know really much of anything. he has ideas, he has questions, but he doesn't follow up on them to inform himself. So I am in fact a VTuber. I have a very advanced VTuber avatar. It looks human, but it's not. That book is the most overrated Shin Guardian. Someone's not a deep book fan. Sabat the gamer. Clippers loaded this year. The Clippers are pretty usually loaded, but the problem is, having all that depth doesn't matter if your stars get injured. You do know him to say he doesn't know anything. I'm saying based on, obviously I'm not saying he literally doesn't know anything, but the topics that he brings up and tries to speak at length on, it's pretty obvious that he doesn't do basic research, and you can extrapolate from that to any other area in his life and assume that he's someone that's intellectually curious but not enough to follow up on it and properly inform himself. He has knowledge, but he doesn't be understanding wisdom. Yeah, like it's one thing to investigate flat Earth theory, but if your conclusion is that the Earth is flat, you didn't do enough investigating. when the Clippers have a better season than Lakers and they still have the favorites in LA. Yeah, that's mainly a branding thing. Do I know what Bucky's abilities will be? My video was talking about is going to be about announcements about potential when we're going to get certain information. In terms of Bucky's ability, I only know one of them. Like what? Like he literally thought the Earth was flat. Like that's a crazy thing to say as an adult. That's a crazy thing to believe as an adult. Chris Paul's a sore loser. Like I've been trash since that Mickey Mouse Crack House Championship. LeBron James really overrated. Bro, I really don't like LeBron. I really don't. I really don't like LeBron at all. I'm not gonna cap. He really irritates me. Just on a human level. Only Bron fans count the bubble. So acting like he doesn't think the earth is flat. This is true. I know the earth is not flat. I've been to outer space before. I've seen it for myself. LaMickey James, a Disney Davis. What am I farming for? I'm not farming for anything. I'm just trying to finish the Cosmic Threat event. At least the main mission chain. Really hope to drop some Jane aside from adjustments on Thursday. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to fix the default skin, but they definitely got to drop that tortoise. Should we be expecting some big Marvel Avengers news? Oh, you should. Definitely watch the video at 3. But literally was a walking god genetically. Very true. I appreciate yourself. I'm gonna do our gang. What's wrong with LeBron? He's a trash person. I don't like him. I don't like him. Like case in point. So this is when I first started not liking LeBron. So LeBron. So when Stephon Marbury was still in the league, and still relatively well known, doing well. He did something that I thought was not only interesting but really positive. Instead of taking a sneaker deal with like Nike or Reebok and selling, $300 and marketing $300 sneakers to children, Stephon Marbury said, "You know what? I'm gonna do something for the kids. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this Starberry line of shoes with this chain of stores called Stephen Barry." And the whole pitch was that these were high quality basketball shoes, but you'd only have to pay I think they were like $15 for a pair of the Starberries. And I got it, and I had a a couple of pairs. They were actually really good basketball sneakers, but they were only They were only $15. So that means that kids who looked up some Marbury or just needed basketball sneakers could get some high quality basketball sneakers that were also not going to break the bank, like $15 rather than $200 or $300. I thought it was really cool because the gimmick is these companies they'll have Chinese children working slave labor, and they'll put out these sneakers, and the value of the individual sneaker isn't that high. They could also sell their sneakers for $20 or $30 and make a profit. But because they want to make the biggest possible profit, they'll mark up the price of the sneakers. So instead of a LeBron James sneaker being 30 $20, it's like it'll be like $200-$300 for that markup. That's the hustle. So Marbury's like, you know what, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna market these $15 sneakers so that the kids can have access to quality basketball shoes. And when they asked, I thought that was good. I thought that was a dub. And when they asked LeBron about what he thought about what Stephon Marbury was doing with his Starbury sneakers, LeBron looked down on Marbury for what he did and said, "Oh, well, us at Nike hold ourselves to a higher standards, so we wouldn't do something like that." I'm like, bro, you're a clown. You're a straight up clown. That's when I knew immediately that LeBron didn't care about the people. He's a corporate shill. I was pretty much done with LeBron then. But then, what's further cemented it was that during the whole activist NBA era, we know when they were talking about Black Lives Matter and justice or whatever like that. So the GM for the Rockets was like, okay, so since we're doing this whole activist stuff, he was like, okay, free Hong Kong. And all of a sudden, because the NBA's relationship with China, it became a huge controversy. And LeBron James, of all people, who, remember, at this point, he was super activist, attacking President Trump, attacking the media, the Republicans, Fox News, racism, the police, all that, all about activism. Soon as Daryl Morey says free Hong Kong, he's like, whoa. You got to watch what you say, with your activism. He basically told Daryl Morey to shut up and dribble, which is hilarious because he came at Fox News for literally telling him to shut up and dribble and stop giving his political opinion. But because China, who gives LeBron checks, was upset about the free Hong Kong stuff, all of a sudden, well, hold on, we don't need this activism stuff, let's keep it to basketball. I'm like, bro, you're a clown. Get out of here, bro. I don't hear nothing from LeBron ever again, bro. You're a clown. I was done. I was 100% done with LeBron after that. I was 100% done with LeChina. LeBeijing. I was like, you're done. I was like, LeBeijing, you're done. I want to hear from you ever again. I want to hear nothing about you I want to hear nothing from you ever again about activism. Yeah, that's exactly why I don't like LeBron. That's 100% why I don't like LeBron, bro. He's a clown. I've not liked him ever since. Like, if you're an activist, you want to be about change, social justice, fighting for what's right, do that. But keep it consistent. Stand by your principles. If your principles disappear as soon as it potentially affects your bottom line, well, then you're not really an activist. You're a fraud. So I want to hear. I was like, I want to hear nothing from you, bro. The Kim Jong. Well, that's Korea. That's a different thing. Jordan just as bad. No, he isn't. Michael Jordan is consistent. What did Michael Jordan say when he was playing? They specifically asked Jordan why he didn't make political statements and be more of an activist like Muhammad Ali, and he said Republicans buy sneakers too. At least he was honest. At least Jordan was honest. Jordan was never something that he wasn't. He said straight up, I'm about the money. I don't care. I'm not going to weigh in on your social justice causes because Republicans buy sneakers too. That's consistent. That's honest. LeBron is like, oh yeah, activism, fight the power, fight justice, speak out, speak up. Unless it affects my money, then shut up. Then shut up and dribble. Shut up. When I said social justice, I meant social justice that didn't affect my paycheck. That's what I actually meant. No, Michael Jordan is consistent. He's honest. I respect Michael Jordan for saying Republicans buy sneakers too. That's an honest statement. He's like, I am honest. I'm not an activist. I'm here to play ball. I'm here to destroy everybody in the NBA, and I'm here to make money. I'm here to win championships and sell sneakers. I respect that. I do not respect LeBron literally clout chasing off political activism. I don't at all. Jordan owns your home team. That man, he's a terrible GM, no doubt about it. Not really. Yeah, you gotta be careful with Nightbot. If you're not a member or a mod, there's a limit to like emotes you can do and stuff like that. I have that in place because we have a bot that consistently attacks the channel. Brian has something to do with Kobe's death. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to throw in conspiracy theories. I don't think he had anything to do with Kobe's death, but I do think he's garbage. That's all my power levels. I'm actually going through them right now. Just making sure that all the gear dropped in the correct spot. That there were no duplicates. $160. LeBron ruined Delonte West's career. Turned him into a drug addict. Nope, Captain America gave my man the duplicate. You gotta do it again. It helped to win the title against the Spurs. OBJ's trash can juice. So you got a few 170 plus in there? Sure do. I've had LeBron. Kwame Brown, best #1 pick ever. Bro, was it actually true? Did Delonte is the rumor about what Delonte West was doing with a certain family member of LeBron James? Was that accurate? Is that why he got blackballed out of the NBA? That's the word on the street. Oh boy. Oh boy. Imagine. K-Bill's Super Saiyan 9000. It's something light. No smash this mom for him. Kyrie said black athletes need to make their own league and choose. Make their own league. There's some truth to that. I think I mean their own leagues, not necessarily. I mean if they could pull it off, sure. But I think I can agree with the larger point that athletes should have more ownership of themselves and their brand. You know, like I'm all about the whole player empowerment era. I think the NBA does that a lot better than the NFL does. I think these athletes should recognize their value and their worth to these franchises, and should definitely make sure that they're in a position where they're properly being compensated. Y'all see why black people think other black people will rip them off? Well, you know, it's not as catchy on a social media hashtag or on a t-shirt to acknowledge the reality that black people do horrible things to black people all the time. I mean, just look at Africa. But yes. Just on an individual level, I think players should definitely seek to empower themselves as much as possible, because they are very important. Now, if you could collect enough black billionaires to start your own NBA, you know, you're free to try that. But in general, yeah, if you're you know, thinking about which shoe brand to go with, you could start your own. If you're an NBA star and you believe in yourself, it's definitely something that could work in your favor. If you want to take that risk, be like, okay, well, instead of going with Nike or Reebok, I'll start my own sneaker line. You think we'll get MCU Jane? No. Not this Thursday. You'll watch the game out in the finals. You think college athletes should be? Oh yeah, absolutely. They're already starting to get paid. You know, but I think that's a small step. I think the whole NCAA was a scam from the get go. From the jump. How they were just shamelessly exploiting their athletes. You trying to use the amateur status BS, that was completely disgusting. If college athletes can't get paid, then neither can college coaches. How about that? How about no selling? How about you can't sell the TV rights to the game either? How about that? But they're not going to do that, because they want to make the money. They want all the money that the college athletes can bring in, but they don't want to. But they don't. Not only do they not want to allow the athletes to get a cut of any of that, they don't want them to be allowed to make money at all. Like anywhere. Like that's and that's why it's completely falling apart on them, because they had no argument. Like they were sitting in court trying to make their argument, and they had no argument for why they can make billions of dollars off of college athletes, but a college athlete can't go and get a sponsorship opportunity. separately. Like it's crazy. It's not they had no argument. So good on them. Why? Guess that's why they only spend 1 year. Yeah, because it is not. It's worth it to the school for the star athlete to stay in college longer. It's not worth it to the athlete. If the athlete gets hurt, they risk losing their scholarship. They risk hurting their status in the NBA. They have no reason to stay in college. There's no. I mean, we're seeing players skipping college altogether. You're seeing them now either go overseas. They're going through this G League program now. They're finding alternatives for college. A lot of top academic schools are ticket sales are used to make buildings, pay teachers. Sorry, yeah. No, don't even get me started about how much money these schools really rake in. These colleges are scams. They're absolute scam artists. With the money they get from the endowments, the sky high book and tuition costs. College is a racket. It is a racket. It is an absolute Ponzi scheme. The least they could do is let athletes make money. They don't even need to pay the athlete, pay them themselves. Just let the athletes have the freedom to go get an endorsement. There's absolutely no way a star athlete who's being used by his school to make all this money off of merch and sell out crowds is sitting in his dorm room eating ramen because he's poor. But if he takes an endorsement to feed it, so he can literally feed himself, he's ineligible and gets thrown off the team. It's disgusting. Who's ready for WWE Summer? I've not watched SummerSlam. I've not watched wrestling in forever. How I get autumn exotics? Being a Marvel's Avengers player. So this should work. So now let me check. So I got the one. Okay, got a 165 Kate here. Okay. Got a 162 on Widow. 152. Dane. 165 Hawk. That's annoying. So there's determined to give me There's just determined to give me bad RNG on this. Let me try again. WD's dead now that Vince is retired. I've not watched wrestling since I was a child. My opinion on public schools and the school system in general. The school systems in America are fundamentally broken. They are fundamentally broken. Public school is a disaster. It needs a hard reset. Kids aren't reading especially affects poor kids, because in general our students are performing, are reading and writing and doing math below grade level, and we're well behind the rest of the world. And the public schools are worse depending on your area, because taxes in part contribute to the funding up to how the taxes of your area contribute to the funding of your public school. So if you live in a rich area with a lot of people that make a lot of money, then those public schools will be better funded than someone that's, living in a poor area. But school choice gets blocked consistently by the politicians because they frame it as some kind of Republican right-wing scheme to privatize education, even though the only schools pretty much in America that have students that are actually doing well are either public schools where everyone there is pretty much rich, or private and charter schools. So the poor kids are stuck going to the garbage public schools, and just all the money is just getting wasted, and any real progress is blocked by the teachers unions and the politicians who make money from the teachers unions. And that's not even getting into the fundamental problems with the curriculum and the lesson plans. Like when I went to school, I was even thinking this while I was in school. I'm like, most of the stuff you learn in school at a certain point, like once I hit 8th grade, I realized that most of my classes were teaching me things that I would literally never need to know for anything that I had interest in the real world. I'm like, I don't need to know any of this. And I always thought, why not refine school curriculums, not only based on how the children learn, because children learn individually. They don't all learn the same way, but also teach them skills that'll help them in the real world. Like how come there isn't a required course for everybody on how to debate, how to think critically? How come you're not graduating from high school knowing how to set up a bank account, how to start a 401k, how to, like, why don't we have classes while they're in school so they know how to invest? Why aren't more schools having access to classes that teaches kids about computer programming and everything like that? Like, why isn't that a thing? Why am I learning about about the Napoleonic Wars and not about how the economy in my own country works? Principal side of it. I don't care about, as long as I know, how to add. The extent of the math that I need to know is how to add, subtract, how to know what percentage of what is what, and my phone can do pretty much all of that. Like if you're looking for more advanced stuff, like they should cater kind of your career paths. Like there should be kind of curated career paths where, okay, if you're interested in a career that requires, heavy knowledge of mathematics and science, there should be a career course that you can hop on that will teach you the practical things that you would need to know to pursue a course in, say, engineering or math and science. And it should have internships baked into that. Instead, they have this kind of one size fits all that really just basically teaches kids how to shut up and copy stuff and then move when the bell rings. Like they're teaching kids how to be workers. They're not teaching kids actually how to be productive members of society. They're teaching public schools especially basically teaches kids how to be obedient workers. So that's I've always been a harsh critic of the school system, especially being someone who grew up in it. Well, does not dismiss you. I just I dismiss you. Oh my god. Taking math teacher did the same thing, but of course she's valid because she had to justify her job. Oh, of course. School system built around the prison system. There are definitely some parallels, especially the school I went to. and where does the tragedy is a lot of the money. Like we spend so much. You read that we spend so much money on education as a country, but I went to schools where they didn't have enough money for books, like, or teachers for that matter. I worked at a bookstore, and I had these girls come in who were teachers. They were teachers at a poorer school, and they came into the bookstore looking to buy supplies for their own classrooms. And I'm like, that's horrible. But I went to a school just like it. I remember one year our main teacher had a run-in with a student, because we lived in a pretty bad area, and the student apparently punched her, and she fell down the stairs. And then after that, she decided she never wanted to come back to the school. And apparently they couldn't get any substitute teachers. They had no money in the budget to hire anyone else. So essentially their solution was for us to not learn anything for half of the year. Like, they would give us extra recess to compensate, to basically fill in the time where she would have been teaching us. And then the other part of the day, the teachers that have free periods would come in and basically babysit us for a study hall type of thing. So I basically missed like half a year's worth of learning. Exactly, they benefit teacher from teaching kids to be workers instead of entrepreneurs. Exactly. Extra recess sounds, bro, it was amazing. I mean, in hindsight, it was terrible because when I left that school, when thankfully my mom saved up and got us a house outside the city, and I went to a new school. But the first new school when I went to new school, I had to play catch up because I learned nothing at my other school. Fortunately, I was ahead of everybody in reading and writing already, because that was already something I excelled at. So even though I got nothing out of my school, even when I got to the better school, I was still already ahead of the class in reading and writing. But I was way behind in math and had to play catch up. And the reason why I was ahead in reading and writing is because my mom took it upon herself to make sure that I had not only encouraged the love of reading and books, but also she would take me to like Silver Learning Center and have me take, these extra classes and courses outside of school so that she could make sure that I was excelling at reading, writing, comprehension. But most parents aren't going to do that. So if you're going to a terrible school, you're not going to learn it. You're just going to be behind, and you're not even going to realize it. How the school's trash and the football and basketball teams, you have a new gear, because that's where the priorities are. They're like, oh well, the basketball team, the football team, that brings in a lot of money. That money goes back into the basketball and the football program so that they can look fly, and also goes to the administrator so they can look fly and have their vacations and their nice cars. and the rest of the school, well, you're out of luck. So the young probably get the rag get ready for me. Honestly, if I could do it all over again, the 1 year in college that I did spend, I would not have done. If I had to do it all over again, I would have skipped college altogether. I would have like, you know what? I'm going to first figure out what I'm going to do. And with hindsight, what I would have done was I would have went to a technical school. I would have learned computer programming, and I would have spent way less money. I would have been done in 2 years, and I would be all ready to have a high paying job. Also, I definitely would have invested more in Bitcoin. That's definitely something I should have done. Really, half these kids can't do simple math. Yep, that it's like really bad, especially if you look at a place like Baltimore. It's horrible how those schools are, bro. Bro, I could have bought Bitcoin at so many stages. I could have bought Bitcoin when it was like 20. I could have bought Bitcoin when it was like 100. I could have bought it when it was 200. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden I see Bitcoin's 20K. I'm like, oh my God. And then when it went to 8K, I'm like, oh, well, that's still a lot. I could have bought it at 8K. But I'm like, I kind of missed it. And then it went up to 60. I'm like, bruh, I'm done. Have the parents don't care their kids struggling. Yeah, unfortunately, I've seen plenty of those parents. They're like they'll have parents that are, you have the single parents. Some of them that are too busy with work. They don't have any help. That's another issue, especially in the Black community. Too many single parent households, and then you just have parents that just straight up don't care. It's like they just basically treat school like daycare. They don't ask how your day was. They don't ask what they learned. They're just like, oh, they're just dropping off, go to school, and that's it. Does Marvel's Avengers have a Bitcoin-like trajectory? Definitely not. Avengers is not built on the blockchain. Your parents have OnlyFans? I could not imagine that when I was when I was a kid. Like, people said absolutely reckless stuff about each other's moms all day that were completely untrue. They had no basis in reality. I can't imagine now where like people's moms actually be on OnlyFans. This dude trying to does he work for WWE? Is this a sponsored chat? What would you do if you was a kid and my mom had OnlyFans? I'd be very embarrassed and angry. Because as soon as my friends found out, it'd be over. It'll be over with. Especially my friends. That growing up, we were ruthless. We would spend like entire lunch periods going in on each other. If when I was in school, if we found out one of our parents was on OnlyFans, it would have been over. It would have been a wrap. It would have been a massacre. You wanted to start OnlyFans, but your wife said no. Well, at least someone in that relationship has some common sense. Someone's kid mom had OnlyFans. He got bullied and smoked cigs at 14 on his birthday, and he stopped going to school. That checks out. Kids can be very cruel, and oof. that OnlyFans is tough. That's a tough one. Like it's embarrassing enough if you have the hot mom and you have kids that are just like, oh man, your mom's so hot. Like you can get over that. But if your mom is also getting smashed out by dudes on the internet or posting naked pictures, just like, oh man. These girls at your school got OnlyFans? Oh my god. But I hope the school you go to is college. Because OnlyFans is supposed to be for 18 years and older. That actually has an OnlyFans account where he buys pictures of feet. Correction, I sell pictures of my feet. I don't buy feet pics. I sell them. You had an OnlyFans until your wife found out. You just wanted to do OnlyFans partying, but you disagree? Yeah, listen to your wife. She's correct. Don't have OnlyFans. You strayed so far from the light of the Lord. Yeah, they're just gonna keep giving me once. They're just gonna keep giving me 165. This OnlyFans probably promoting WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view. Play his mom audio in our class. Oh no. Oh, that would be. Oh man, I'm glad. I'm glad when I was in school, technology wasn't that advanced. Like when I was in high school, Facebook wasn't even really a thing. Like the most popular when I was in high school, when I was a senior in high school, the most popular social media platform in the world was MySpace. that was as far as it went. I didn't even use Facebook until I went to college, and college was still kind of basically Facebook at that time was still mostly a college thing. There was no OnlyFans. If you were a prostitute, that was something that no one would find out. If you did any sex work, then there would be it would be no way to find out on the internet. Do I have an OnlyFans of Miller? No, my OnlyFans is solo. Do you think you'll find the right one? All these girls are just close thoughts. Well, fortunately, there are billions of people in the world, so your chances of finding someone that matches your values are actually very high. So I will say, don't settle for what's in your area or what you see. I guarantee you, even at your school, there are girls that don't have OnlyFans. There are a lot of at every school there's a wide variety of girls. No one's a monolith. If you look hard enough, you will find the right one for you. You just gotta look for it. All right. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up today. I got a video dropping in 1 minute. Definitely go check that out. I'll check in tomorrow. Hopefully we get a Thordis reveal tomorrow. We'll have to see. I'm Sadot the Gamer.